Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this Old Goat Tarot. My name is Anne. Now, this is usually a Capricorn collective community, and I do tarot and a little bit of astrology for the Capricorn collective. However, lately I have just been feeling the energy so heavy lately that I've been called to do a slightly different reading today for the broader collective, for everyone. All placements, all signs. We just got off of the solstice last week. Cancer season is here among us with Jupiter. And oh, by the way, we just had a new moon in Cancer yesterday morning. So we're still in that timeline of being able to manifest what we want to come true in the next 6 months or so. Now, I want to be clear that when I say that I feel like we're caught in a daze a little bit, I'm not sensing that this is a negative thing. I don't feel compelled to, get a bunch of sage here because we have to dispel negative energies. And to be clear, yes, there is a lot going on in terms of international conflicts, etc. I do not want to belittle that by any means. What I am simply saying is, in the current energy field around you, the things that you control, remember to own your own sovereignty, what it is that you can look at with the perspective of the higher mind. Remember, we are on this earth school together. It is an opportunity for us to learn. It is an opportunity for the soul to expand. And this is a collective expansion process right now for everyone. We're all in it together. There's definitely a feeling of oneness that we're being called to lean into. And I have really been hearing from my guides lately that this time is not so much in any means to promote fear or concern. Rather, it's about our ability to take back our empowerment by using strong discernment. Discernment is message number one that I'm really hearing right now. From what it is that you're currently consuming. That includes this channel, by the way. This includes this message that you're hearing right now. Take what resonates, leave the rest. But it's very easy to sort of get caught up in doom scrolling Instagram or whatever social medias that you use nowadays. YouTube, just even regular TV, radio, what you're hearing around the water cooler at work. There's a lot out there for us to consume. And what we're being asked to do is to call back our energy around discernment, around what is true. What do we decide for ourselves is the timeline of truth that we want to pursue? It's a choice point. And so I do want to do this reading for the broader collective. There's another message that has been more so in signs, symbols, synchronicities that has been coming up for me a lot lately. I don't know quite what this is translating to, and I would love to know if you are been seeing this as well. But pyramids. Now, we all know there's a lot happening with the pyramids in Giza and Egypt, etc. But I'm meaning more so on an individual personal level. I've felt this concept of a pyramid, if you will, of imagine yourself holding two pyramids in your hands. I don't know what this means, and almost one where in your third eye. I don't know what this means, but I think that there's something here that's yet to be revealed in the upcoming month. So again, if you happen to been hearing either of those two things, discernment or pyramids, anything about that, and just in general, there might be something here for you today. So I am going to pull some cards for us. We're going to look at recent, past, current energy, potential outcomes or any message, and I'm just open to seeing what Spirit has to say for us around just our current timeline that we are all in together right now, holding space for each other when we have so many frustrating stories that are coming at us all at once. How can we use our discernment to be able to choose the path, choose the truth that we believe collectively for ourselves is for our highest and best? So thank you for being here. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start us using the Green Witch's Oracle deck. We'll pull an Oracle card, and then we'll get into the tarot. All right. Welcome to my table. As you see here, I do have all of the elements represented, all signs. Everyone is welcome to my table as always. And we'll go ahead and pull the cards. Now, I will say that today, from a numerological perspective, breaks down to the number 5. So all of these decks have been pre-shuffled 5 times, and I do honor reversals. I do want to be clear about that. All right, we pulled Basil. I love this, by the way. I don't know if anyone else has any gardens out there. It is that season. It's a magical season. I love. And so let's go ahead and get the message from the Oracle deck around Basil. And by the way, Basil can also be interpreted as a symbol of Jupiter as well. There may be some synchronicity there in terms of the connection of Jupiter having just moved into the sign of Cancer, really giving that all of that richness, that goodness around the qualities associated with Cancer. You know, Cancer really has 2 sides. Keep in mind, there's that side of, and remember, the crab walks sideways. He's comfortable navigating the ocean, the sea, and he's also comfortable walking on land. And if you think about that timeline, he also has a hard protective outer shell. So there's 2 dimensions really there that we can learn. There's this idea of having this really good balance around the soft body in the inside and this hard protective outer shell that you sort of transform throughout your lifetime. Choosing and using discernment around when it's time to move on, and allowing those emotions that may bubble up to just ebb and flow, but to really go with the tide, not to fight it. And then there's the other side, which, if you think about Cancer, it is the temple of the moon. It is ruled by the moon, and the moon drives the tide, right? And the moon is the mother. It is the home. It is our inner, it is our ability to parent ourselves. It is our ability to connect with the inner child that we've always, that's always been there. And for, you know, a lot of reasons around allowing us to live here in this physical expression on Earth, a lot of times that inner child, that naivety that we've come to this Earth school with, gets repressed. And so I would say here, you know, having Basil present in this reading to sort of echo that amplification of the Cancerian energies with Jupiter here. Remember, Jupiter is the god of love, expansion. He's about depth, about righteousness, about goodness. And there is a message here: prosperity, luck, and love, which is all about Jupiter. So let's go ahead and read what the Oracle message has to say. Basil is one of the most versatile herbs in a Green Witch's toolkit. Full of positive energy, it can draw good things into your life. Basil has been known to dispel fear, confusion, or any weakness, and was even used as an aromatic by ancient Greeks to attract love. In this way, basil is all about forward movement. The Basil card tells you that the time is right for something that you may have been hesitant about in the past. The time for planning and preparation is over. Go forth with confidence. It's an auspicious time. This is a great moment to indulge in love or take a risk. Basil has your back and luck is on your side. Okay, I think this is just a beautiful message for the collective. Thank you, Spirit. It is just so full of hope and optimism. Remember, Jupiter rules the Sagittarius, which is all about optimism, hope, forward movement, right? The Archer. And there's so much here by just getting this card, and using that in terms of walking away from fear. Again, Cancer is all about the emotional self, how we feel about this lifetime that we live. And, on the lower expression, especially given what's all happening around us at all times, it's easy to get caught up in lower vibrational energy. Such as fear, confirmation bias when it comes to the fear, right? Algorithms are designed with money behind the scenes meant to echo what it is that keeps us watching. And really, it's a distraction from what we're supposed to be focusing on. And this is what Spirit is telling us right now. It is not a time to sit and hesitate. This new moon energy, use the opportunity to manifest your highest timeline, your highest and best for everyone here listening today. Now, this message today may not resonate with everyone. Take what resonates, leave the rest. But if something does, I would be honored if for a like or subscribe. But let's move on. Let's go to the tarot and let's get a reading from Spirit here. We'll go current, recent, past, current energy, and future outcome. Okay, I am getting the Ten of Swords, recent, past, in the upright position. I have the World card, but in reverse, Major Arcana, current energy. And I'm also getting Father of Cups. Okay, so I really love this reading. Everything here has so much synchronicity around what it is that I am feeling intuitively, and there's a sense of optimism that is on this table today. Welcome to my table. This Ten of Swords here, okay, is about an ending. Tens are about completion. The Ten of Swords in the tarot is about the final chapter having closed, the end of sleepless nights, the end of a challenge, a trial, a tribulation, putting a capstone on it, being ready for a new beginning. So I do want to get some clarity here. Let's get a little bit of clarity. Why is the Ten of Swords here in the position of recent past? And remember, this is a 9-year, and a 9-year is about completion as well. 10 is the actual completion, 9 is about the ending. We're getting the 10 of Swords in the upright position here. What else? Anything else that the collective needs to know today of why this 10 of Swords is here in recent past? Anything else? Okay. Bottom of the deck, I have the World card as well. Another message that echoes some sort of ending in the upright position here. We also had a couple other messages that came through. I'm just going to read them off as I feel. So this ending didn't come by accident. This ending of whatever challenges, it was due to a lot, perhaps some sleepless nights. There was some choice points involved. There almost was perhaps a dark night of the soul that was involved, but that is over. I want to be clear. Spirit is echoing to me right now. It is over. It is time to put that. It is in the past for a reason. But it happened because this King of Swords here, there came a point in which Again, King of Swords energy, divine masculine, about taking action, decisive action, where there was some sort of clarity, where it was a collective idea that we are done. We are done with the confusion. We've laid down these swords. We're no longer going to carry them. We're ready to move forward in our truth. And there's a clarity, right? You notice how one side of this card there's some clouds, and the other side where he holds the sword there is no clouds. That's by design. It's because that there was a clearing, there was a moment, there was an opportunity that spirit came through and provided the message, the clarity, whatever it is that you needed to take action around a decision, around perhaps it was a relationship that no longer served your highest and best. I'm sensing for a lot of folks, it may have been the recent full moon, perhaps, in which you released something. You released a control. You severed something that was a chain that kept you to an old belief system that no longer served you. Perhaps it was old programming. Let me go forward here. We have another card peeking behind here. We have an Eight of Pentacles. It also happened because we mastered something. The Eight of Pentacles is about mastering your craft. This again, this divine clarity that happened, this action happened because we were able to master something, self-mastery, and what it is that we truly want. There was a Two of Pentacles here, and that happened because we were pushed into something. So the Two of Pentacles for me has always been about a balance here of this idea of almost having this pentacle of the higher mind as well as a connection to the ego. Okay, having a balance there, because remember, this lifetime is not about death to the ego. The ego is a gift. It's an opportunity for us to feel our way through an expression in the material world. If we didn't have an ego, we would not have 2 feet on the ground. Okay, we could not experience what we came here to do. And so always having a slightly higher look of the higher mind, but balancing that with having 2 feet on the ground, and that's the constant balance in this lifetime is what the Two of Pentacles is about. And that there was something that was imbalanced. Okay, something that, and I'm reading this where if it's in the reversal, it is where the ego kind of takes over, and there is an imbalance. The higher mind should always be higher for a reason, but be pulling it along the ego with love, all the love and that the essence of the self that is with us throughout a lifetime. And so that imbalance happened. And we recognized it because we got to a point of self-mastery. We went deep within ourselves, and we were tired. We made a choice. We were tired of the sleepless nights. We were tired of the fear. We wanted to take our sovereignty back. We went deep within. We mastered ourselves. We looked at around what is our priorities, what is important to us. I have the Seven of Swords here. This is about using our resources, about spiritual inquiry. For me, especially when it comes to sevens in general, I get the sense that they are very much associated with having a level of intellectual curiosity where we're no longer willing to accept lies that may be in front of us, where we're almost like leaving those lies behind, moving forward and choosing what we're going to take with us strategically around what truths are ours to hold and what are no longer ours to carry. So there was something there because of this imbalance. This imbalance triggered so much within. It led to us really using our discernment. And again, this message is about discernment here. It led to us really going within to determine what the self-mastery was. It allowed us to cut those truths that are no longer ours, to take action, to be very deliberate in our action around maybe it was a religious belief that we had grown up with, and for whatever reason lately we've been having these moments of of reflection, of discernment, of why is it such? Why does this really make sense to me? There's a difference between a belief and a knowing. And I think that there was a gap there where we went deep within and we realized that we truly didn't know. It was just a belief. And so we decided to take with us that what we knew and left behind that which was just a belief. And then I also have here the Nine of Pentacles. And so the Nine of Pentacles is about also, sort of being in our garden. Now, I want to be honest, this came out in the reversal position. I had flipped it. I do want to acknowledge what the Nine of Pentacles is about, how I interpret it. It's about integration. It's about taking all the lessons learned over all the other Pentacle cards, right? About self-mastery, about balance, about working with others, about collaboration, about using discernment with money. Think about all of the different tarot cards if you're familiar with tarot. But whatever that looks like for you, think of these pentacles, each of them, as critical lessons of the self. And now it's like you're pulling them all together in your garden and you have this like luxurious robe on and you're enjoying yourself. But it did come out in reverse. Okay, it's important that we honor the reversal itself. And so again, this tells me that this Ten of Pentacles is over, that we had to really do some work here on the integration aspect. It was not easy, but it's coming to an end. Those lessons, I don't want to diminish them. They're still there. They are still valid. For some, I think that some of those lessons that may be very hard. Perhaps you have spent a lifetime caring for an individual. I know there's a lot of people on listening today who perhaps are caregivers, are healers, very empathic people. And sometimes that can take a toll where it's almost like that analogy of like getting on a plane and having to make sure that you put the oxygen mask on yourself before you care for others. That's what I'm gathering, is that those lessons were not easy, and this integration part about pulling all of those aspects of ourselves together, and one of them being is sometimes we have to put ourselves first. That's not an easy lesson to learn, and it's hard to integrate that into the overall self, but it's critical. That's what brought this to an end. That's what brought this World card. And in this particular section of this reading, this World card is just echoing, reflecting the fact, especially given that it was on the bottom of the deck, the fact that there's an end here. This entire cycle is done. It's over. It's closing. It's closed. But why now do we have this World card here in the current energy in the reversal? And I feel almost like this is my first, just from intuition of what I'm gathering right now, especially when I pulled this card originally, was almost like on an individual collective level, like us individually, we know what's wrong and we can discern what's right and good and true for ourselves. I think that is without a question a lesson here that before, where we couldn't see necessarily, or perhaps we didn't have all of the information in front of us in order for us to make to decide what the truth is, about seeking that truth and be able to cut that which is not true. We were able to accomplish that, and that cycle is over. But yet it's almost as if the actual world, okay, that is around us is upside down, because what we see on the inner self is not reflected like it has been for a millennia around this paradigm of this physical experience about being here on earth and in this material world. It has always been a mirror, and for right now it's not mirroring what we know is true inside, and that is intentional. That is a wake-up call. This World card in reverse is telling me that what we see in our inner self is not reflected. It's almost like the world is upside down of what we see on the outside versus what we know to be true in the inside. So that's a message. I mean, that was just coming clear as day to me as I was reading this, but I do want to get some clarity here. Why is this this world card in reverse and current energy for the collective? This is a message for everyone. Heavy energy internationally, even perhaps in our own communities. We have the Ace of Wands and upright. Any additional messages here? All right. We've got Justice in reverse. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have Justice in reverse. We have the Ace of Wands in the upright. We also have the Sun card sideways that flew out. Okay. This is where we are now. We've done the work on the individual level. Okay, because remember, there's a concept which is about separation, okay? About getting to know thyself and getting to know thyself and to love thyself. That's what this was all about, this entire cycle. And I'm not talking about, just recent past, like a day or so. This is not a career and finance reading. This is like whatever this amount of time, and remember, time is an illusion. It is an opportunity for us just to experience a physical reality. But however this came about for you, this is true. This ending about knowing thyself and what is not truth. This realization is here, okay? There's no longer a question around what is right, what is wrong. But the outside world doesn't reflect it. And usually this physical reality, the outside world, is a mirror of what we're experiencing on the inside. But for the first time, it's not. And this is a remarkable year for humanity as a whole. And I think it's almost like the matrix is breaking. That the ability for our physical reality, this holographic reality that we have created, it no longer mirrors what is in the inside. It's almost like we found, I'm seeing old school Mario, and you found the warp whistle. We found out, okay, how to sort of bypass and see things for what they really are. And the fact is, the real world here is not what we have seen it to be. We know what it could be. Okay, we know that it has the capacity and the potential to be something of whatever it is that we want. And this to me, this is the one. I think there's almost 2 cards in the tarot that have the hand here, the 4 of Cups, and then it's the Ace of Wands, where this is spirit coming and just handing us this wand of passion, of drive, of ability. This is creative. This is the fact that we are, to me, given the fact that this is a collective reading, this is the acknowledgement that we are powerful creators. We could create a world of whatever it is that we want to create. And the reality is that right now the world is upside down. It's not reflecting what it is that we know to be true and good and wonderful, of all of the things that we would want in our life, in this reality, for the good of all is what I'm hearing. It's almost like we have this sun where we could have this wonderful joy. We could be living in this, we could be living in the light, but it's sideways. It's that right now there's not a light for all. And that's where that's why this is imbalanced here. It's that there's an injustice, okay? There's something that's not balanced. And this is where we are right now, is that it's like we've done the work inside to discern what it is that we prefer and what it is that we don't prefer. And I think it's going to be happening all around us. Trust me, this isn't over. I think it's over internally, but what's going to happen now is that it's almost like you have this new set of glasses, right? And have you ever been to like an optometrist and they're like, click, 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 number 1 or number 2, number 1 or number 2. If you ever have had eye troubles, luckily I have LASIK now, but if you ever have had to get glasses, and it's like we were constantly going through this process of like what it is that we want individually, and now here we are. But because we figured out the prescription for ourselves, now we have those new glasses on, and when we look out on the world, and it's like, oh my gosh, now we can actually see the world for what it is, and it is upside down right now, and there is a lot of imbalance, but yet we see that that again we have this innate power. We are multidimensional beings, that we can create whatever reality is that we would love to create. We can do this, and yet we have this the sun. We can see it. We can see glimmers of it. We see hope. But it's not an upright position, because we do have additional work to do as a collective, as this concept of oneness, okay? And so the times that we are embarking on are almost reclaiming our power individually, so now we can elevate that together as a whole, is what I'm hearing. Is this circle just reached out to me, the image on this card. And then we have over here in potential outcomes, we have the Father of Cups. Let's get some additional clarity. Why do we have the Father of Cups here? Remember, that's sort of the King of Cups in the tarot. It's about really allowing really that balance, that Cancerian energy around just having full balance and ownership over your emotional well-being, about honoring our emotions, acknowledging them, integrating them into the self, and allowing that water energy. Remember, cups in the tarot are water. Cancer is water energy. This is the time, is what Spirit is saying. We've got the Jupiter here, to no longer live in the fear, to allow ourselves to finally overcome that. Because remember, the opposite of love is not hate, it is fear. And we have overcome that individually, or at least been able to identify it, okay, as root cause. And so we're no longer in that state of not knowing. Rather, we're able to almost like, I'm sensing it's like a strike team where your body, sees the infection and it's able to immediately, seek and destroy is what I'm hearing. It's like I'm automatically, okay, I'm feeling fearful, acknowledging the emotion, because that's a dimension of ourselves, right? Our emotions are a powerful aspect of ourselves. It allows us to understand our energy field in a whole different way. Like, what energy am I exuding at any given moment based upon my feelings? All right, I did have this strength card that did pop up in the upright position. Major Arcana here, number 8. I think that really reflects, first of all, this is a Leo card. We've got the Lion here. We will be going into Leo season soon. So again, future outcome here. Bottom of the deck, I have the Queen of Cups, which, oh my gosh, this is such a confirmation as well. At the larger echoing here is to energies in the collective as a whole of what has been a reason for this imbalance, this injustice, okay, for so long, has been the energy of the divine masculine and the divine feminine being out of balance. And the divine feminine is on a rise to even out and to come back into sacred balance, okay? And again, this is not about anyone's gender identity. I want to be clear about that. If you're new to this concept, if you will, everything, the yin and the yang, requires balance. So the divine masculine is all about the ability to take action, the ability to move forward, the ability to take our thoughts and turn them into a material reality around us, to the spoken word. The divine feminine is about receptivity, about being able to identify sort of that inner self, that inner knowing, the knowing beyond the belief, what you know is to be true. And so we have here the fact that we have the card that was originally pulled and then the bottom of the deck, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, complete balance for emotions. So I love this because right now we are in, like I said, Cancer season. And this is telling me is that an outcome from this season that we are in right now is that there is a reckoning. There is this ability now to move beyond sort of this idea of extreme structure, extreme patriarchal societies in which there isn't a clear balance. Where the divine feminine, and again, it's not about having a bunch of women in power. I want to be clear about that. It's not about the matriarchy or, rather it's about identifying that the have and the have-nots is not a just society. It is not acknowledging the oneness that we are all called to be, the fact that we are all one, a collective human experience. And so I think that for the first time, we are being awakened to the possibility, the potential of a new way forward in which we all recognize that when one of us as an individual is hurting, we should all, come together from a place of love, hope, and support. And send energy of peace and love versus this idea of take what's mine and leave the rest, right? And creating this ongoing battle of separation, whether it be resources, it could be about it could be about power dynamics, whatever that looks like. You need to have that balanced with an understanding that we're all, we all have human DNA together, right? And that human DNA is, a hodgepodge. We are a mutt of the universe. That is really what we truly are. And each and every one of us brings a unique cosmic footprint to this experience that and we need everyone. It's not just the leaders. We no longer need to give up our sovereignty to presidents or the HOA board presidents, whatever that is that looks like for you. Instead, we are reclaiming our power within for us to discern of our own truth. And when actually this is where the strength comes into play about calling that in. To me, I'm hearing is that the balance is happening in July, this Cancer season, between the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and big changes. This is a big change for us because we've lived in a period where the divine masculine has been out of balance with the divine feminine for so long. And so when this balance comes into play, it's going to be a bumpy ride, right? But this injustice it's no longer serving humanity. It's, again, going back to that idea of like going to the eye doctor. We did the work. We have these beautiful glasses on now, and now we're looking out and we see the world for what it is. And it is truly upside down. Everyone that I know is just shaking their head. Is this reality? Is this the reality that we know to be true? Do we believe it to be true? Do we want it to be true? All of those things are coming together right now in a nexus. And as we move forward, that balancing is going to continue, right? Because we're going to continue to be at this choice point of making decisions for ourselves, of harnessing this energy of sovereignty for ourselves, using and calling back our inner strength. So, this has been a powerful message today. I hope you enjoyed. I have been sitting on doing a reading for my channel now for over a week and a half. I've done multiple, I've recorded them, and I have actually deleted them because I have not felt that it was the truest, purest, authentic message that I could deliver. And that is one thing I will say on this channel, is that I will only deliver what I truly believe is coming from spirit, from the divine. And so please, I hope that this message is imparting a sense of hope, of optimism, of allowing ourselves that permission slip to tap into our own discernment of our own energy, of what we know to be true and right, and the path forward. I know I said at the opening there was something there about pyramids. That just started coming through last night. I don't know what that means in relation to this message here. I'm not seeing the connection. And I will ask my guides in the upcoming days or weeks. But if you do see any sort of synchronicity with a pyramid, I would say, whether the word, if you see anything on the news, I don't know what it is. I would love to know in the comments, because that might actually be sort of that totem of that echoing this message of this reading today, just to activate any codes that you were able to receive, any downloads, any aha moments of just a reminder to yourself around, hopefully, that there is a message here of positivity, about hope for your community, for your family, for yourself, that things are going to be, we are embarking on the golden age. All of this we just have to finish this ending, this purification process. We've done it, the inner work ourselves. That's what this Ten of Swords was about. We did the purification. We did the work ourselves. We cut out everything in our own lives, or at least now we're able to see the things that no longer serve our highest and best. And granted, old patterns die hard, so be easy on yourself. Like, trust me, it's really easy to get to have that purity test for ourselves. Like, oh, I'm not living at the highest vibration. But the goal is not perfection. It's all about, if imagine you're climbing a ladder, right? Or going up a hill, and you go up and then you fall down, and then you go up and you fall down. The thing is that when you make the fall, it's not one step forward, two steps back. It's more like two steps up, one step back. Two steps up, one step back. So every time that you might drop your vibration just for a little bit, it's incrementally still higher than where you had been, 6 months ago, a year ago, 6 years ago. That's something that you really need to honor, and when you are feeling those moments of low energy, like I have been this last few days, and like I said, I felt that the last few readings I did were garbage. I literally deleted them. Stay true to yourself. Know that you are moving forward, and that's what this idea here about the basil. It is about prosperity, luck, love, and moving forward away from fear. All right, I will leave it there. Thank you so much for being here, and until next time, love and light.